Welcome to another journey into the golden era of silent comedy. Today, we dive into one of Charlie Chaplin's lesser-known gems, the court Charlie Chaplin, the iconic little tramp with a bowler hat and a cane, made history through his unique ability to combine slapstick humor with deep emotion, and in this film, he finds himself where no tramp wants to be, in court. So sit back and let's explore this 25-minute roller coaster of gags, mischief, and Chaplin's timeless wit. The film opens with Chaplin being dragged into court, but of course in Chaplin fashion. He's not going quietly. His entrance alone is a masterclass in physical comedy. Watch his feet shuffle as if resisting gravity itself. It's as if justice itself is too boring for him. mesmerizing contrast. While the courtroom is stiff and serious, he's loose and unpredictable. The judge looks like he's aged 20 years just watching him enter. We see the courtroom filling up, the stern prosecutor, the nervous defense, and a curious crowd, but none of them can keep a straight face when Chaplin starts fiddling with his tie, tipping over chairs, and pretending not to know which way is up. Notice how Chaplin doesn't even need words. His eyes do all the talking, a single exaggerated eyebrow raise, and the whole audience erupts. Then comes the trial, or as I like to call it, the comedy roast. The prosecutor is listing off serious charges, and Chaplin, he's counting the cracks on the ceiling. The contrast is magic. And when asked if he has anything to say in his defense, he pulls out a sandwich from his pocket, classic Chaplin, hungry for justice. And lunch, let's talk a bit about the real-world context here. Chaplin made many of his films during the 1910s and 1920s, times of great social change. system, showing how it can be both rigid and ridiculous a brave statement. Cleverly hidden behind laughter back in the courtroom, Chaplin tries to charm the jury literally. He starts flirting with one of them, and then accidentally spills ink on another. He fumbles with documents, uses the judge's gavel as a hammer to fix his shoe, and even tries to play the court reporter's typewriter like a piano. At this point, the courtroom has lost all control, and that's the magic Chaplin's chaos reveals just how fragile structure can be. Just when we think he's going to be found guilty, Chaplin turns on the charm. He pulls out a harmonica where he got it, nobody knows, and starts playing the entire courtroom, judge included, is hypnotized one by one. They're tapping their feet. If you enjoyed this journey through the court, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more classic comedy breakdowns. Until next time, keep laughing because, as Chaplin once said, a day without laughter is a day wasted.